Hey, muito bem-vindo à aula de número 82 do Inglês 365. Prazer estar aqui com você mais uma vez. Na aula de hoje, nós teremos muito inglês e pouco português. Inclusive, essa é a única parte da aula que eu vou estar falando em português com você. É uma aula de listening. Como está escrito aqui, ela vai ser, depois da introdução 100% em inglês. Nós iremos ouvir e depois understand, depois entender cada uma das frases do texto. Então, eu vou explicar para você em inglês, usando outras palavras, o que nós falamos. Então, vai ser o áudio principal em inglês e, na sequência, explicações em inglês sobre o conteúdo em inglês. Isso é legal, né? Lembrando que esse curso ele é 100% gratuito, então pega o link dele, envia para um amigo aí de trabalho, para algum familiar, alguém que precisa aprender inglês e ainda não conseguiu por questões de tempo, dinheiro ou por qualquer outra questão. Nosso objetivo é ajudar, especificamente, você que provavelmente até tentou aprender inglês e não conseguiu, ou sempre pensou, mas nunca, de fato, o fez. So let's speak English, right? So the game plan today is we're going to listen one time the scene, which is from minute 5:58 till 6:21. Then we will understand in English what Deborah spoke in English. So it's going to be like an English explanation. And also, you're going to get a suggestion on something for you to do before our next class. So let's go. Let's listen one time. So that's like 5:50.
Hello, everyone.
I think I got a headache on that day. All right.
Yeah, you did. You got a headache that day. Yeah. So that's what I want to talk about it. All this journey we've been through. I'm very honored that I was a big part of it, and I guess I am still just the same you are in a part of my journey in many ways too. So I want to ask you, why did you decide to learn English when I asked you to be my student? You could have said no.
Okay. All right. So task 1 is being completed. Listen, we've already done it. So now let's understand what happened. What was Deborah saying? How could we explain it differently using different words in English to say the same thing? So the first sentence, the first thing she says is, so that's what I want to talk about. This so in the very beginning, she was talking about something in the video. Before she says so, when she uses the word so, it's almost like she's transitioning topics. She is going into a new topic in the conversation. She goes, so it's like I was speaking about this, so it's like a bridge. It's a connection between two topics. We're talking about this, so now we're talking about that. So that's what I want to talk about. The word so could be like, maybe we could take it off actually. If we remove completely the word so, it still makes sense in the context. Let's see, because she said,
Tired. Like, I know it is tiring.
I think I got a headache on that day.
Yeah.
I was saying I got a headache.
You got a headache that day. Yeah.
In my first English class, that was, about all the time in English. After the class, I got a headache. When your head hurts, and you're like, and then you had to take a medicine to feel better. I got that. So if we take out the word so from the context, it would still make sense. She could have said, yeah, you got a headache that day. And that's what I want to talk about. Or maybe just, that's what I want to talk about. But we could replace the word so to and that's what I want to talk about. All right. So Deborah was just saying, I want to talk about that. And that's a good thing. That's what I want to talk about. Another way to say the same thing could be, and I want to talk about that. Or I want to talk about this, or I want to share, I want to ask you some stuff about that. There is no rule, there is no, that's what you have to do. It's not a thing. You just have to communicate your message. So this same sentence, so that's what I want to talk about, could be explained in many different ways. This is one way, but you could do it in many different ways. There is no rule, there is no formula. You can say the same thing using different words. Let me show you. So this one right here, right? She says, that's what I want to talk about. We could, if we wanted to, we could say, let me just copy this and paste it over here. So this, that's what I want to talk about, could be, we could replace it with this is what I want to talk about. I could have said, or I mean, she could have said, I would like to talk about that. I would like to talk about that. Or I want to talk about it. I want to talk about it. Or even a question. Can we talk about this? Can we talk about this? So all of those sentences, they mean the same. They're all about the same sentence. It's the same thing using different words. So there's no formula. There's no, this is the right way or this is the wrong way. You have to understand that language, that Portuguese, English, Spanish, I mean, whatever language, it is not about perfection. It's not about the right way of saying. It's about sharing a message. So you can share the same message using many different ways. You don't need to have a formula. You don't need to have the right way of doing it. Okay? So let's continue. So all this journey we've been through, all this journey we've been through. All this journey, we could say just this journey. We didn't have to say all this journey, but this journey is what journey? What journey is she talking about? She's talking about my learning process, which was the previous topic in our conversation. So by like here in the video, if you see, we started on minute 5:58. So we were talking about something before minute 5:58, which is the process, the journey we've been through. What journey? My English classes with Deborah. So she was asking me, I want to talk about your process and how you learned and the journey we shared, the journey, the road, the way, the path, the process we've been through together. So this journey, we could have said this process, this experience, gosh, I don't know, like there are just so many variables to say the same thing. This process could have been this journey, this experience, this way we've been through. It would all work the same. And we've been through communicates the idea of we went through. We've been through would be almost the same as we go through, but in the past, which is like we went through. We went through. So when she says all this journey we've been through, is almost like if she was saying, all this journey we went through, we passed by, we lived along, we had together, all this journey. And she continues saying, I'm very honored that I was a big part of it. So I'm very honored. If we take off the word very, if we remove it, and we just say, I'm honored, it would be the same. Like the word very, it just emphasizes the word honor. So the word very amplifies, makes the word honor like a big honor, almost like that. So I'm honored is one thing. I'm very honored is the same thing, but with more emphasis, with more amplified, a bigger honor. And she says that I was a big part of it. I was a big part of it is like, the word big is just like the word very here in the context. Let me give you the good example here. So if we were to remove the word very, the word big, and we just said, I'm honored that I was part of it. It has the same message. So if I say, I'm very honored that I was a big part of it. Or if I say, I'm honored that I was part of it. It's about the same. So it doesn't change much. But the word very and big, they emphasize what she's saying. They make it bigger. It's like very or big part of it. But the sentence would work the same without it. The message would be the same, but with less, I'll just say with less intensity, but it would mean the same thing. And I guess I am still, that's what she says, and I can guarantee you that she is still part of the process. So Deborah said, and I guess I'm still, so this, and I guess I'm still part of it is very interesting because it is it's like a compliment to the previous sentence. So she said, I'm very honored that I was a big part of it, and I guess I'm still. Yes, for sure. So it's a good way to add something in a sentence. So the word and is to add something. It's like plus, additionally. And it's like plus, additionally. Oops, I misspelled it, sorry. Additionally. Let me fix it. All right. So the word plus will mean that, like the word and will mean that in the context. So when she says, and I guess, I'm still, that's what she's saying. Just the same, you are part of my journey in many ways too. This just the same as you are is like in the same manner that you are, in the same way, in the same line, in the same thing, like the same as you are part of my journey, I think I am part of your journey. That's what she's saying. So this just the same. Yeah, the word just in here, we didn't need it either. We could say just, we could say the same you are part of my journey too. So here I just simplified the same sentence by removing some extra words. But why do we have those words if they're like extra? Because it helps the message to be better explained. It helps the message with more details, which is very interesting, which is good actually. So if you want to share a message, the more details you have, the better your message will be communicated. But it's a lot better to have a simple, easy communication in the beginning and having a message than trying to be perfect but not having a message, which is a problem a lot of people come across. So message, the communication is the most important thing. So if you want to say something and you don't know how to say just the same, but you know how to say the same, so say the same. Don't worry about like little details and just things that will just help your message, but it's not the core message. The core message is the most important thing in a message. And then Deborah says, so I want to ask you, why did you decide to learn English? Again, she says, so. As you can see, the word so is very common in English. The word so is present all the time. All the time you'll see people saying, so. And what does that mean? It means like and or then. It's like and, then. It's just a word that we usually connect to things. So it's a good word to use. So I want to ask you, why did you decide to learn English? So she's saying, I thought about asking you, I would like to ask you, I have the desire, I have the idea of asking you, why did you decide to learn English? Like, what's the reason for you to learn English? Why did you decide it? Why did you decide to learn English specifically when I asked you to be my student? So this is completing the message. It is adding more information. It's making the message more specific. When I asked you to be my student, when I asked you to be my student, you couldn't have said no. Then she says, you had the option. Pretty much that's what she's saying. She's like, you had the option to say no. Like nobody forced you to do it. You had the option to do that. I'm just deleting this Portuguese text in here. I forgot to do that. All right. So when she says you could have said no, she's saying you had the option. You didn't have to say yes. So you could have said no. Why did you say yes? And that's the key point for this class. So that's it for our class today, which is 100% in English. That's English class. My suggestion for you to practice, watch the scene 5 times and repeat it. So you will watch and listen, and then you're going to repeat the scene. It's going to help you to develop your pronunciation, your ability to communicate the message you want. Don't forget to practice, please. Practicing is the most important thing in this process. So practice always, practice often, practice when you have the time, practice all the time. Do it because it's good for you. All right. And thank you so much for being here and for watching lesson 82 from iN365. If you have any questions, suggestions, please let me know. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.